What if everything we thought about Whitney Houston's tragic death was a lie? Kanye West just dropped a bombshell in a federal courtroom, accusing music mogul Clive Davis of orchestrating a deadly conspiracy. This isn't just court drama, it's a shocking expose that could change how we see the entire music industry. Kanye West's courtroom testimony against Sean Diddy Combs took a jaw-dropping turn. What began as allegations against Diddy morphed into explosive claims linking Clive Davis to Whitney Houston's death. Kanye revealed the music industry's darker side, insisting Diddy was only a puppet in a much bigger game. The courtroom fell silent as these accusations unfolded. Kanye's unexpected courtroom impact. Kanye West's courtroom testimony against Sean Diddy Combs took a jaw-dropping turn. What began as allegations against Diddy morphed into explosive claims linking Clive Davis to Whitney Houston's death. Kanye revealed the music industry's darker side, insisting Diddy was only a puppet in a much bigger game. The courtroom fell silent as these accusations unfolded. Kanye arrived draped in a muted gray suit and shades, flanked by security, commanding attention without saying a word. As he took the stand, a hush fell over the room. This wasn't just another witness, this was Kanye West, one of the most controversial and influential figures in music. Initially, his testimony aligned with expectations, recounting his early encounters with Diddy, his troubling behavior, and secret industry gatherings. But everything shifted when the prosecution asked if Diddy acted alone. Kanye, removing his sunglasses, looked directly at the jury and said, "You want the truth? Then you need to know this ain't just about Diddy. It's bigger. Much bigger. This goes back to Whitney Houston. This goes back to Clive Davis." Gasps echoed through the courtroom. Even the judge looked stunned. Kanye was no longer just testifying. He was detonating a bomb. He claimed Diddy was a puppet, and Clive Davis was the real puppet master running the darkest secrets of the music industry. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Legal teams objected fiercely, but Kanye's voice grew louder, more intense. His shocking pivot turned the trial into an explosive expose, exposing a hidden world of control, manipulation, and silence behind the glamorous facade. What started as a straightforward indictment against Diddy became a seismic shift, painting the music industry as a shadow operation with powerful gatekeepers deciding fates. Kanye refused attempts to steer him back, doubling down on his claims. This unexpected twist left everyone in the courtroom shaken, and the world watching with bated breath. The controversial Clive Davis pre-Grammy party. On the night Whitney Houston tragically passed away, the Beverly Hilton Hotel became the center of a chilling contrast. Clive Davis was hosting his annual pre-Grammy party, just floors below her hotel room, where Whitney's lifeless body lay. Kanye West described this gathering not as a tribute, but as a ritualistic display of power and control. While Whitney's closest friends and family mourned upstairs, the partygoers downstairs danced, posed for photos, and toasting champagne without interruption. Witnesses and hotel staff later testified about the eerie atmosphere that filled the venue. Some attendees claimed they were unaware of Whitney's death until the following morning, while others were shocked that the celebration was not canceled out of respect. The longtime friend of Whitney told the court that she would never have wanted the show to go on, and that the continued party was a reflection of the people who profited from her legacy, whether she was alive or dead. Furthermore, testimony revealed that security guarded Whitney's room for over 11 hours as celebrities enjoyed the festivities below. A former staff member noticed music executives' calm demeanor as they left her room, suggesting the situation was already managed behind the scenes. Clive Davis himself faced tough questions about why the party was not canceled, responding bluntly that canceling was never considered. This callous attitude fueled suspicions that the event was less about honoring Whitney Houston's memory and more about maintaining appearances and power within the industry. The visuals of the party, including red lighting and symbolic decor, added a haunting, almost ritual-like ambience. An anonymous music industry insider described the energy as a celebration not of life, but of an ending. This night became more than just a glamorous event. It transformed into a symbol of the darker side of fame, money, and control that Kanye West laid bare in his explosive courtroom testimony. Whitney's final warnings and cryptic messages. Days before her tragic death, Whitney Houston dropped chilling hints of fear and desperation in a now infamous interview, repeatedly whispering the word drown, sending shivers down the spine of anyone watching. Kanye West claims that this was more than just an expression of turmoil, it was a coded cry for help. According to Kanye, Whitney left a secret voicemail hours before she passed away, one that was mysteriously erased from her phone records, raising suspicions of a deeper cover-up. She tried to warn those close to her that something was wrong, but her warnings went unheard, ignored in the shadowy corridors of the industry that controlled her. In a haunting moment caught on camera just 2 days before her death, Whitney interrupted an interview with Brandy and Monica, passing a cryptic note while whispering the word drown repeatedly, as if trying to send a message no one else could hear. Kanye revealed that he had spoken to someone close to Brandy, who confirmed that the note said, "Don't trust Clive. I need help." The note itself was never recovered, but its ominous timing and context added a grim layer to the unfolding mystery. Whitney was reportedly growing paranoid and fearful of those she once trusted, sensing that the powerful forces around her were a threat to her life and freedom. These final warnings are a haunting reminder of a star caught in a dangerous web of control and betrayal, struggling to break free but trapped by an industry that would not let her go. The mystery of Whitney's last messages still hangs over her legacy, raising the question, what was she trying to reveal before it was too late? The dark pattern of music industry tragedies. Kanye connected Whitney's death to a disturbing pattern involving legends like Michael Jackson and Prince. He described a ruthless system where artists who fought back were silenced, controlled, or worse. Kanye's testimony suggested these weren't coincidences, but signs of a grim reality shaped by Clive Davis and his network. He argued that many of the most iconic artists didn't just face personal struggles randomly. Instead, there was a shadowy operation behind the scenes, orchestrating outcomes to maintain power and control in the music industry. According to Kanye, these artists were managed, directed, and, when they stepped out of line, removed from the spotlight permanently. He pointed to the eerie similarities in how their careers and lives ended, implying a pattern of sacrifice rather than chance. This system, he claimed, runs on fear and silence, with industry gatekeepers deciding who rises and who falls. Kanye explained that Whitney Houston was beginning to expose this hidden web, making her a target. Her death was not just a loss, but part of a larger, darker narrative of control. These tragedies, Kanye insisted, serve as warnings within the industry, reinforcing submission and compliance. He urged the courtroom and the public to see beyond the headlines and recognize the chilling pattern of how legends are systematically dismantled. It's a story of power abused, secrets kept, and artists paying the highest price for challenging the status quo. Financial motives behind the tragedies. After Whitney's passing, her album sales skyrocketed, enriching Clive Davis and Sony Music. Kanye laid out how the music industry profits from these losses, controlling legacies and catalogs to maximize earnings. This financial incentive adds a chilling layer of motive behind the tragedies that shook the industry. Whitney Houston's posthumous releases soared in sales within hours of her death, reigniting public interest and boosting licensing deals. Meanwhile, Clive Davis's net worth climbed alongside these surges, painting a picture of an industry that benefits from loss. It's not just about grieving icons, but about how their legacies are managed and monetized. Kanye points out the harsh reality. She was worth more dead than alive. This statement, chilling as it sounds, reflects a system where deceased artists' work becomes a goldmine for those who control their catalogs. The prosecution emphasized that this financial windfall creates a motive, blurring the lines between tragedy and profit. When death becomes a source of income, questions about the circumstances surrounding these artists' demises become unavoidable. This economic reality fuels the suspicion that the industry's dark side isn't just about control or silence, but also about capitalizing on loss. By linking Clive Davis directly to this posthumous profit machine, Kanye casts him as a figure who not only holds power over artists in life, but also in death. This perspective challenges viewers to consider how financial interests may overshadow respect, and how true motivations within the industry might be hidden behind the scenes. The role of Fahim Muhammad and the industry's handlers. Kanye named Fahim Muhammad, a former security head for Michael Jackson and Diddy, as a key player in the shadow operations. Described as a handler, Fahim's role went far beyond protecting artists. He was the one moving behind the scenes, keeping tabs, and ensuring control over those within the industry. This wasn't just about security. It was a system of management and manipulation designed to maintain power and silence dissent. Kanye suggested that Fahim's movements between Michael Jackson's camp and Diddy's circle were no coincidence, but a clear sign of the tight control network underpinning the industry's darkest dealings, moving seamlessly from one high-profile figure to another with uncanny timing. The courtroom buzzed at the mention of Fahim, especially when Kanye linked him to making problems disappear and hinted at his role in more sinister operations, a ghost-like presence in the background of the music world's power plays. This revelation gave weight to speculations about industry insiders who maintain the status quo through intimidation and covert tactics. Testimonies and previous lawsuits mentioning Fahim as more than just security heightened the sense of a hidden enforcement mechanism working alongside moguls like Clive Davis and Diddy. This network, according to Kanye, ensured that artists who stepped out of line were quickly managed, controlled, or removed, preventing them from exposing secrets or disrupting the carefully constructed empire. Fahim Muhammad represents the shadow forces that manipulate the fates of even the biggest legends from behind the scenes, a reminder that in the music industry, power doesn't just come from contracts or sales, but from the invisible hands that pull the strings, keep people in check, and uphold a ruthless system of silence and sacrifice. Expert testimony on Whitney's paranoia and fear. A forensic psychiatrist took the stand, revealing a chilling insight into Whitney Houston's state in the final weeks of her life. She exhibited signs of extreme paranoia, convinced that she was being watched, followed, and recorded. The expert detailed how Whitney's interviews, personal journals, and eyewitness reports all pointed to a growing fear that shook her world. One clip played in the courtroom stood out, Whitney's solemn words. "They want to silence me." This haunting statement was more than a passing comment. It was a desperate cry from a woman trapped in an invisible cage. The expert explained that such expressions of paranoia are common in people under extreme stress, but Whitney's situation was made unique by the tangible threats she perceived around her. Video footage from a 2012 interview was replayed, showing Whitney interrupting a media appearance with Brandy and Monica, secretly passing a cryptic note while repeatedly whispering the word, "drown." This moment, once dismissed as odd, suddenly gained new weight. It suggested premonition, or at least a deep awareness of impending danger. Kanye West claimed to have spoken to someone close to Brandy, who confirmed Whitney had scribbled a warning. "Don't trust Clive. I need help." Though the note has never resurfaced, the timing and context made it impossible to ignore. Prosecutors emphasized that Whitney's paranoia was not imaginary. It was rooted in real fears about those controlling her fate. The testimony painted a portrait of a star isolated by fear and suspicion, desperately trying to break free from forces closing in. This glimpse behind the curtain left the courtroom unsettled, reinforcing the idea that Whitney's death was wrapped in layers of secrecy and danger far beyond what anyone had imagined. Kanye's final call to unmask industry secrets. In a powerful closing statement, Kanye declared that silence is the industry's weapon, but vowed not to be silenced. He framed Clive Davis as the architect of a ruthless empire, where careers are built and destroyed through fear and control. His words left the courtroom and the world questioning what lies beneath the glitz and fame of the music industry. Kanye's testimony brought forward a chilling picture, exposing deep-rooted manipulation and secrecy. He made it clear that this isn't just about one man or one event, but an entire system designed to maintain power by any means necessary. The idea that legendary artists like Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and Prince were expendable pieces in this game added weight to his claims. He begged the jury and the public to look beyond the sensational headlines and ask the hard questions about who truly controls the industry. Kanye's final remarks painted him as a lone voice willing to take a stand, risking everything to shine light on what many want to keep buried. "You may have taken them," he said, referring to lost icons, "but you won't take me." The courtroom fell silent with this powerful declaration, leaving everyone to wonder how deep the shadows really go in the music world. His call to unmask the industry's darkest secrets wasn't just testimony, it was a challenge, a warning, and a vow that silence will no longer be accepted. This moment marked not just the end of a testimony, but a potential turning point in an industry long known for its secrets and sacrifices. Kanye West's courtroom testimony transformed a trial about one man into a reckoning for an entire industry. The allegations against Clive Davis and the shadowy forces behind tragic artist deaths demand more than silence. Whether truth or theory, Kanye's words challenge us all to look deeper. What if the biggest stories in music hide the darkest secrets? The impact of this testimony reaches far beyond the courtroom walls. It forces fans, insiders, and the public to reconsider the narrative around some of the most beloved and tragic figures in music history. Whispers of control, silence, and sacrifice paint a chilling picture of a business where fame can be a trap and power can be deadly. Whitney Houston's untimely death, Michael Jackson's mysterious struggles, Prince's lonely final days. These stories may not just be sad endings, but pieces of a larger, disturbing puzzle that Kanye courageously brought into the light. The idea that an industry mogul could orchestrate events from behind the scenes raises questions about trust, power, and how much of the truth is hidden from us. Most importantly, Kanye's declaration that silence is how they win serves as a call to action, reminding us that uncovering dark secrets takes courage and perseverance. His willingness to speak out, despite great personal risk, inspires a reckoning that could change how the music industry operates. In the end, this trial isn't just about Sean Diddy Combs or Kanye West. It's about facing the uncomfortable realities of fame and influence, and questioning the cost of the legacies left behind. So next time you hear a tragic story about a music legend, ask yourself if there's more beneath the surface. And remember Kanye's haunting question: what if he's telling the truth?